I'm Dr. Gaby Cora at the National Publicity Summit here with Marjory Wildcraft. Welcome, Marjory.
Thank you, Gaby, for having me out.
I love what you do. Tell me how you can get everybody healthy through groceries.
Well, as you know, Gaby, I'm very passionate about having people grow their own groceries right in their own backyard. Our nation right now, our food supply is in crisis. Right now in the news, there's news about mad cow disease. Last month it was pink slime. The month before that it was salmonella on spinach. It's one thing after another. Fortunately, there's something that you can do about it. If you've got a hose in the backyard, you're halfway there.
You know, Marjory, this is very interesting. I have a lovely home. I have a lot of space, but it hasn't been until the past year that I decided to have my own edible garden. And some people are a little shy from doing it. I think they think that it's a lot more work than it actually is. So how could you help our viewers if they're getting started? They're like, oh no, it's too tough.
Yes, I've got 3 very simple steps to getting started.
Go for it.
And the first one is to start small. My husband plowed me up a huge area of land because his grandmother had a huge garden, and that's the way he thought. But really, just 100 square feet or a 50 square foot bed out in the yard. And if you don't have a yard, just a couple of plants in a windowsill. So the first thing is start small. The second thing I'd highly recommend is start with some herbs, because adding just a little bit of fresh herb totally transforms a dish. And they're easy to grow, they're almost industrial strength, it can't be destroyed, and it makes such an impact on your meals. A girlfriend of mine said, I'm feeding my family the same old slop, put that fresh herb on there, and they're asking me if I've got new recipes. So.
Wonderful. Well, being Italian, the first things that I made sure that I had were oregano, parsley, and
basil,
of course. And then I started adding maybe some garlic and some onion. The other thing that I noticed that was helpful for me to use in Miami, Florida, was to have everything in pots. So could you discuss, are pots better or not? Is it better to just, lay it out in the garden?
Pots are a great way to start, because it also helps you with that principle of start small. The thing about pots to know is get as large a pot as you can comfortably manage, whether that means you've got it on rollers to move it in or out, or if you're just on a windowsill, try to get as large a pot as possible. That way you've got more soil, and it's not going to need to be, the watering is going to be easier. If you have a real small pot, that thing is going to need to be constantly monitored and watered, and you don't want to create more work in your life. So potted plants are great, and especially if all you've got is a patio.
So if there were 10 things that people could start growing in their backyard, what would those 10 things be that would provide great, great nutrition and tasty?
Right, the easiest things to grow are, green beans, squash, and of course everybody loves fresh tomatoes. So those are the 3 absolute easiest. In the wintertime, we're talking about lettuces and spinach, kale, broccoli. All these plants are fairly simple to start. And I'd highly recommend in the beginning, go buy some starts from a nursery. You are going to want to learn to save seed and plant directly from seed eventually, but it's a lot easier to just start with a plant that's already been grown in a nursery and get, for a very beginner, that's the best way to go.
Absolutely. How about pests?
The bug thing.
The bug thing.
Now, the key to controlling pests is to have really good soil. So the function of bugs in a garden is they're predators of plants, and they primarily attack weak plants. So if your plants aren't being watered properly, or if they don't have all the nutrients they need, then you'll have insect problems. So if you have healthy plants, you're not likely to have insect problems. And the bonus to that is when you eat healthy plants, you get healthier too.
Absolutely beautiful. Anything else that you'd like to add?
Well, I would like to say, I'd like to emphasize that our country really is in a crisis. Our food supply is just not what it needs to be. The fact that pink slime exists is a red flag to all of us. Fortunately, the solution is very simple. Just start growing your own.
Wonderful. How can people get a hold of you?
My website is at growyourowngroceries.com.
Lovely.
Very simple.
GrowYourOwnGroceries.com. Thank you so much for joining me, Marjory.